Now, something that I forgot to mention in the previous video is that this was going to be a two-parter because there was such a vast amount of stuff that I want to talk about. It all ties into the same part where it involves relationships and how I see so many things that are just destined to fail, yet people are trying to ignore the fact, and so it works itself out, which is not going to happen. And when it comes to that, when it comes to a relationship, you really want to talk with someone. You really want to be around someone who has gone through different types of relationships. Failed relationships help you figure out what you want to do, what you want to be, who you want to be with. Sometimes you're ignorant of the fact whenever you get into the relationship and you just have fun with it for a while until it fails, or you're in a relationship for that future ex-girlfriend. You know, sometimes people get into relationships where it's for the right now, not for the long-term what I want. But those are the different types of relationships that some people get into. There's even the relationships that, not just that they're doomed to fail, but they're relationships that will help expand the person's mind with how they failed. Whether they get cheated on or they cheated on somebody. It's like, why? What was the reason? Were they unfaithful? Were they... It's just so many different rhymes and reasons of why this happens. Now, I'm not stating that people should go out and fail at their relationships all the time because it's doomed to fail. No, I'm saying you should learn from every little detail. Learn, because the person that you're trying to be with might be the one that you can enjoy and be peaceful with, to learn things, experience things. But then you can see that there's a bit of an expiration date. An expiration date really sucks in a relationship, and you don't really want that. And if you see that there's an expiration date, take some time and talk with who you're with, so you can figure out where it's going. It's like, you know what, I've noticed these few things. I don't want to be a downer, but what's going on? But, that's if, figuring out who and what, and sometimes you can get a nice, clean, decent breakup. It's like one of those, like, yeah, you know what, let's just hang out for a bit, still do this that we got planned for next week, and then, we'll see whenever, alright? So, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you have these horrible things that happen. Sometimes you have these really messy breakups where someone freaks out and someone gets hurt, or someone's stuff gets hurt. And another type of relationship that I have noticed, which seems like the most perfect relationship for those who do not want to marry, but just want to have that random friend to have sex with. The most perfect friends with benefits is a long-term friends with benefits deal that it's just going through life and every now and then hanging out with a certain person just to have sex with. Where I've actually met someone who has been going through a few years of this long-term relationship thing, this open relationship. But it's not exactly an open relationship because both of them don't date. They don't date anybody. They don't date anybody at all. Basically, they're dating each other with a distance where they don't claim it as dating. Because they get to go out, they still get to go out and see their friends, their own personal friends. They don't really hang out with each other often. And when they do, it's like, okay, yeah, I want to go do something. It's like, yeah, because I've got whatever. And they are this, like, one of the most perfect relationships I've ever seen, because these two people are actually balancing themselves out as keeping it to a goal and seeing that they're never going to go beyond that, and they're so comfortable with it that they can live life peacefully with that. They're not going to go through the whole kids part and married and so on and together, because they both kind of lightly find each other annoying. But they're open about it. I mean, they're so open about this stuff. It is extremely impressive. And that's not even a romantic relationship. That's just a physical relationship. It is crazy when you try to think about it. It's like, how did that work out? It's like, well, you found two perfect people for each other that don't like each other, that give each other exactly what they want in a relationship, and that's it. Every now and then they help each other out with the emotional part, something bad happens, blah blah blah, they chit-chat, whatever, but that's as far as it goes. I mean, that's a very interesting relationship. It's the first relationship I've ever heard in who knows how long, and I've known these people for quite a few years. So I'm really impressed of how that worked out. Now, not every single relationship can have the luck of finding that perfect, messed up fool to balance out exactly what you want. You cannot have exactly what you want. Not everybody is as lucky. Sometimes you find that the perfect person for you is not right now. That right now you have to fail at a few relationships so that you can become the right person for the right time. When you find that, oh, this is juicy. Now, while you're trying to figure that out, you don't know what you have to change. A lot of times, you learn things along the way that will be just, random things of data and information, things that are like hobbies or whatever that you encounter. You always learn something from a good relationship that only lasted a bit. If you learn something from it, whether it be a skill or an ability or a new hobby or something, or information about something you didn't know about before, at least you learn something from it. You learn from the relationship or so, and all these skills kind of stack up so that whenever you finally encounter one of the best possibilities of a person for you, then maybe that person will like you at the time then and not right now. It's one of those you have to evolve into the person that will match quite well. I don't say perfectly, because not everybody matches perfect, but that's pretty good. You have space to change and fix yourself up, because both sides will fix themselves whenever they're in such a wonderful relationship. Right now, my problem is I am, how did I clarify myself? I am a natural eccentric with decent standards. Natural eccentric, because I'm always trying to learn something. My goal in life, besides relationship-wise, is that I want to learn to do whatever possible, everything. I want to craft everything, make everything. I want to do things. But while I'm doing that, all these little things that I'm doing along the way, a lot of people find me as way too strange, way too weird, wait, you're a guy that can cook, you can sew, you can do this, you can do that, you're great with kids and so forth. It sounds like you'd be the perfect husband for somebody. How come you're still single? The answer is, all the good women are already married. Yeah, I know, it took me a while to craft myself in such a way, but it's kind of late, because all those amazing women that would fit perfectly with me, they're hitched. So unless I'm waiting for them to be divorced, yeah, but that's life. That's my life. And, not everybody can compare to me. I have found myself that it's a bit lonely where I am. Where I am, actually, I'm not going to complain about that part. But what happens with me is that where I'm located right now, I have to change something. Because if most people don't see me as a problem, but they find themselves as the problem, and not me, it's like, oh, you're great, but I have, and there's all these reasons why they don't want to be around me, or, well, not around to date me. But then that means that I'm living in the wrong area. I should move to somewhere else. So yeah, I'm planning to move in a few months from now, and I'm going to be traveling, I don't know, it's around 1,300 plus, yeah, about 1,400 miles that I'll be traveling to, which I'll be moving to in a few months from now. Near my brothers, I haven't seen them in a few years. I've had a few years of, exploring, expanding my mind, expanding my stuff, but hopefully whenever I find someone, it will be someone who's open-minded, who teaches me something as I teach them something, and we do all sorts of wonders for ourselves, for our future, with a few common goals. That's it. That's pretty easy in life. But you have to try to find the right kind of person that will match up with you for the specific reasons. If you just want a relationship that's only going to last for a few months, you're a serial dater. You don't really need the relationship. You just basically want the company. And you want an ever-changing one, because you really don't know what you want. But in time, you'll figure it out. So until then, be happy, be peaceful, and, take a chance in life. Maybe you'll find the one that will change you. Or the ones. Who knows? Good luck.